Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 2, Episode 134. It is extremely early in the morning, and I have been traveling for over an hour already. Still 6 a.m. Temperature is 28 degrees. When I went out to the car this morning, I found that it was completely frosted over, and I was worried that it was actually a lot colder than this. But that's not bad. 28 degrees, it'll be above freezing in no time. Today is going to be an incredibly long day. I'm actually going to be in 4 major cities today. And to kind of give you an idea of how quickly I need to move from one place to another, I need to be done at the second city by 11:30 this morning. So it's going to be a very busy day. There's only one spot in the day, well, 2 spots in the day that I could cut casinos out, only because when you get to a certain distance away from home, you have to come straight back. You can't, there's no way to cut a corner there. So we'll see how things go at the first casino. I could cut out the second or third casino, which would save a ton of time if I have to. And then I could cut out the 6th or 7th casino. So we're going to have, looks like 7 casinos today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So 7 casinos today. We could cut out casino 2, 3, 6, or 7 and save a little bit of time. Other than that, we're looking at a minimum of a 14-hour day, and I need to get home at a reasonable hour. So that's what's going on. Yesterday, I had a good day. I kind of want a little, I don't know. I got a little upset at the last casino for not finding good plays. And I have to say, I hate to say it, but I kind of feel like I'm spoiled a lot of the times, and I get insulted if I don't have good plays or I don't have decent variance, because I've had it good for a long time. And I understand the math, but things have been on a pretty good roll lately. I want to continue it. Unfortunately, the last 2 major trips that I've taken have both not been great. But I have a feeling we're closing in on our goal for the year. I don't know where we are exactly, but I'm thinking we're probably, 25 or 30,000 away from our goal. So it might be really, really close right now, and that would be pretty amazing. I think if we get our goal, it would be another enormous milestone we would hit at the same time as our goal. And we'll talk about that when it happens. I don't want to say if, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So right now I'm on my way. It must be cloudy because I don't see any moon in the sky anywhere. Dry roads, a little bit busy for 6 a.m., but we'll see how things go. I'm going to have to stop for gas probably between the first and second casino. That's as far as I could ride it, and I'll be back and update you, let you know how things are going. Did I just say between the first and second casino, or the second and third? I need to stop for gas between the first and second casino. Okay guys, I am back. It is just around 8 o'clock right now. Just leaving the first spot and moving on here to the next place. This first one was a slots only place, for me anyway. They offer blackjack. High limit blackjack was not open yet, and I would not play there anyway. So I just looked at some slots, and I could say it was a very lukewarm session. I did have one nice play as soon as I walked in. It was just over $1 a spin, and it was pretty much ready to go. 3 or 4 spins, and I ended up ahead $60 on that. And then looked around at some other stuff. pretty much broke even on most of the other stuff that I did. Very small plays. It's interesting because some machines are only in position for a spin or two, and I had one machine like that today, and I actually hit a bonus on there, and I'd never seen the bonus on it, even though I've been playing this machine for over a year and a half. I've never even seen the bonus because I give it so few spins, and I have to say I was not impressed. The bonus re-triggered, and I still only made $3 on it. But overall, the session was okay. I was in and out of there, thinking about a little over 20 minutes or so. Ended up ahead $70, so plus 70 there. Now we have a flurry of work to do on my trip to the next casino. I have to answer emails, update spreadsheets, and I have a 15-minute meeting. It's called a stand-up meeting. Basically all the developers and stuff like that. Coordinate with security, networking, all those people, and share information as far as what they're working on and how it may affect the other groups. So I have to do my part in that meeting. And then I will have 45 minutes, most likely, at the next casino. And then I will have a 1-hour meeting. And then I will have half an hour at the next casino, and then I'll have to leave town. So I'm thinking, depending on how things are going, I may say that I'm not available for the second meeting and play blackjack during that time and see how it goes. So right now, it's all up in the air. I'm going to be going to the next casino, doing my work, and doing a short meeting, and then I'll be back after I play some blackjack. Alright guys, I am back. Just pulled into the parking garage of the first casino I'm going to play. I have 43 minutes till my meeting. I've already notified my boss that I may be slightly late to the meeting, but that still doesn't give me a lot of time. I am just taking off any apparel that may point to where I live, as I always do. I make sure that I wear shirts and things that don't have any kind of logos on them. Everything plain as possible. No team logos, no company logos, even on shoes, pants, shirts, everything. So just be as plain as possible and least description possible. So I'm walking in right now. I've got 43 minutes, and I'll be back to let you know how it goes. Alright guys, I am back. I am in my meeting right now, driving to another spot right now as well. I went into the first spot, did not find anything on the machines, although I didn't check them all. I hurried through the important ones, and then I went to the high limit blackjack area and played spreading one hand at $50 up to two hands at $250, and played there for about 40 minutes, which is the exact amount of time that I had, and just had ups and downs, obviously, but in a very narrow range, luckily, and then finally moved positive as I was running out of time. And actually, I was in the middle of my session, and I got a text from my bank asking if I charged a certain thing, and I said yes. Then I looked down, it says your card has been locked, and I looked, and I had said no instead of yes. So they had locked it, so I had to call them while I was driving, while I was in the meeting, and get that unlocked. And right now I am pulling into the next spot, still in the meeting, and talking to you, and I ended up, I don't know if I mentioned it, plus 550 at that last place, so that's fine. At least we're moving in the right direction. Time-wise, we're good. If this meeting finishes early, I might be able to get 2 sessions of blackjack in. I'm down to 5 miles range on my car in gas, so that's not great, but we'll see what happens here. So as soon as I leave here, I'll go get gas, move on to the next spot if I have time, and all depends on how long this meeting is. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Not good. just didn't get a chance to play. I've actually gotten more free drinks at casinos today than I've played blackjack sessions. That's pretty bad. I went in and started looking around, immediately saw a friend of mine. We talked for a few minutes, and we walked around and stuff, and he reminded me that because of everything going on in the city right now, they're not opening any tables till 11 a.m. 11 a.m. That just drives me insane because I have to be out of town by 11:30 at the latest. And so I talked to him. We went and sat in his car for a minute and talked, and then went back in. I just thought, yeah, I'm just going to go to the bathroom, take one more lap at the slots, and see what happens. Because when I was with him, I lost like $3. Anyway, decided to go back and just take one more look, and that would give me time that maybe in case anything opened up, I'd be able to sit down. But I ended up leaving about 10 after 11, and they hadn't even gotten the cards out of the sleeves yet. Then they have to spread them, and they have to make sure they're all there. They have to wash them, have to put them in the shuffler. They have to count the chips. There was no way I was going to make it in time. So I ended up taking off, but I did find one good play while I was in there, two good plays while I was in there, and ended up ahead $156. So that's something at least. Now, here I am, brokenhearted, 4 miles range on this car in the middle of a city where it's expensive for gas, and I don't think I'm going to go to a gas station just yet. There's another casino very close by. I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and then I'm going to get gas. All I'm going to do is run in, look at the slots, and leave, because their tables don't open till 1 p.m., so there's no chance. But maybe I can go in there and pick up $20 or $40 or $50 and pay for my gas. So that's what I'm going to do. Right now, it's 11:19 a.m. I've got 11 minutes. I'm a mile away from this casino. Going to hop in there, going to go in and out, check 7 or 8 different machines, and obviously if there's a good play on one, I'll be late to my other stuff, no problem, but just need to find some plays here. I had big hopes for today, and this is just dashing all my hopes. So let's see what happens the next spot, and I'll be back. We were just plus 156. Alright guys, I am back, and there was a change in plans, as you may have expected. Happens to me a lot. I go in, look at the slot machines, see nothing. I see a friend of mine, and I said, man, I hate it. This place doesn't open up the high limit until 1 o'clock. And he said, what are you talking about? They should open at 11 o'clock. I said, well, they've always been 1. I said, I'll go back and take a look. So I went to the high limit area, and son of a bitch, wouldn't you know it, it was open. So I go to sit down, and there's a guy in the middle of a shoe. He's playing 2x200. He's definitely not counting. He's very grumpy, and does all his hand signals wrong. And like, you know, some people do things in a scammy kind of way, in a way that they try to scam the casino to say they did hit or they didn't hit. He gave those half signals where it's a half hit and a half stay a lot, and I can't believe the dealer allowed him to do that over and over again. But I decided to wait until the new shoe started, and when the new shoe started, I buy in for 500. I sit down, I start playing, and actually when the shoe was supposed to start, there was a red light, so he was told to go ahead and hand shuffle, and that took a minute. So waited for the hand shuffle, then got started playing the shoe. It was basically, I don't think I raised my bet above the minimum the whole time. There were a couple deviations I did because of the negative count, but I never had a positive count. First hand, the other guy gets 2 10s, and then another 2 10s, and I get a 10-4, and the dealer has a blackjack. So you're looking at right there, you're already talking about a -6 running count right away, and it just got worse. We got to like a -18, and then by the end of the shoe, it was a -2. So never really went anywhere. I ended up finishing that shoe plus 600, and the dealer was just such a slow dealer, and the other guy was such a slow player, and the hand shuffle was so slow. I just decided to leave because that one shoe took almost half an hour. So decided just to take off. Right now I'm just a little bit behind on my schedule. I think I can catch up. I had to get gas, which I already did, and the next place I've got 40 minutes scheduled for. So if I can get through that place in 30 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever, that helps put me back on schedule. Then I'll have another 2-hour drive to the place after that, and there are 3 casinos in that neighborhood. So if I get good time on those, I'll be good. So only one of them is one that I can play blackjack at, and the other 2 I'm not able to. So I think I can still make things happen and still get home in time. But right now I have let me see, I'll tell you exactly, 4 hours and 50 minutes of driving to do, and I need to be home in about 7 hours and 10 minutes or so, something like that. So 7 hours. So that's what's going on. We're gonna make it happen. I hate that we have to do it this way, but I'm getting like almost $250 in EV just for showing up, so I've got to go there. There's a good blackjack game there too, so I'll do that. And then there's a buffet there. I've got a pile of buffets are expiring over there. If I meet a friend, I'll give them a buffet too, but otherwise I'll probably just have something quick. Usually I'll just have like a salad and then something with rice, chicken and rice or something like that, and then grab a couple cookies in a napkin and take them with me. So I'll probably do something like that. Anyway, letting you go for now, and I will be back soon. All right, guys, I am back. I go into that place and immediately see a friend of mine, and right before I saw him, actually, I saw 2 ladies and a security guard and a police officer running into an area. Then I saw my friend and I said, hey, look at this. So we went over to see what was going on, and didn't really see anything happening. They were searching for somebody, but they couldn't find that person. So anyway, I didn't really get a chance to play much because there wasn't really anything playable in there. I think I played a couple slots, and that was it. I was in and out of there pretty quickly, like 15-20 minutes, somewhere in there. And then I made up, it's actually been an hour since I left there. I made up 3 more minutes while I was driving here, and right now I am only behind by about 8 minutes. So between traffic being good and me doing, right now I'm doing about 86, I should not be, but about 80 miles an hour, picking up some good time here. Things are looking good. So right now, moving on to the next spot, which is still, actually I guess I've been driving for an hour and a half. It's still about a half hour away. And at this place we're going to have, I've got multiple free buffets. I'm going to get a buffet. I'm going to have 1 free table bet, which I will play on some dumb game because I'm not going to play rated anywhere. I will do it on my way out after I've already played unrated. And I'll do it in a different area. I also have free slot play and a free gift card. So that's why I wanted to come over here. Unfortunately, the free table bet that they have is a 1-use bet. So assume it's $100 and you win, they give you $100, you don't get to keep the bet for another time. So that means that on a $100 bet that you can use that way, it's really only worth about $50. But hey, I'll take it. So right now, continuing on to this place, the weather is gorgeous now. Beautiful day all of a sudden, 55 degrees, and light, like really fluffy, thin clouds over the whole sky here, and just a beautiful day. Traffic is decent. This road is kind of narrow. It's only 2 lanes each direction, but what are you going to do? Haven't run into any real slowdowns so far, so I've been really fortunate so far. So one thing I noticed is I normally have all my casino cards with me, and they are in my closet at home, because when I took my trip out west, I bagged up the ones that I would need out there and didn't take any others, and I never took them out of my closet. So normally I only play rated on slots, and right now at only 2 different places. This one is just an off place that I go rarely, so I'll just have to make a card. Yeah, that should be it. I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll be back hopefully to update you with some good news. Alright guys, I am back. So things, again, as always, did not turn out the way I expected. So there are 3 casinos in this area. A main casino, and then off a ways are 2 other ones close to each other. I went to the main casino first. That's where the blackjack is, and I went in there, looked around at some slot machines. I was ahead about $60. I got my gift card, and I went and played some blackjack. And when I went back to the high limit area, there were only 3 tables open, and all of them had people on them, and the one that was closest to finishing the shoe was still more than halfway, away. So it was a ways before I was going to get to sit down. So I took another lap and really didn't find much. Came back around, and I noticed one table was getting close, and there was a guy on there. He had a stack of about 2,500. He was betting about 800 or 900 a hand, so I figured it wouldn't take too long for him to be done. So I sit down there, I wait for them to finish the shoe. He finally finishes the shoe. He still hasn't lost yet. Goes into the next shoe, which I'm trying to think, did I start playing? Yeah, he played with me in the next shoe, and then he ended up getting up and leaving. He had like $6,000, so he did well for himself. That's good. As for me, as soon as that first shoe started, I started losing. In fact, I'll tell you a fun fact here. Today I played 3 blackjack tables and got 1 blackjack on a total of 3 tables. So, and that was a $200 blackjack. It wasn't a huge blackjack. So anyway, before I miss my exit here, let me switch. So I'm immediately down, have to rebuy, and sitting there hating life for a little while, and things start turning around, and another guy comes to the table, and I've seen this guy before in the city. He plays really big, and he didn't really like seeing me sitting there. He would have rather been sitting there instead. He was looking for another table, and the count had gone to like a running 10 early on in that shoe, and then it dropped off, and it just went negative as he was complaining about not having anywhere to play. I look at the time, and I've got 40 minutes before I have to leave the city, and I'm still at the first casino. So I decide to get up. I was ahead exactly 500. So I get up, and then I had like a $40 voucher for a free bet. So I went to a Baccarat table and put it on Banker. So fun fact, they don't charge commission for some reason if you're using a voucher. Interesting. And Banker has a better chance of hitting than Player, slightly. So I will always bet Banker with my voucher. So I win that. So I'm up 540, but I've got a total of 1,540. So I asked for $500 chips, and they gave me a $1,000 chip, and they do that on purpose because I told them I didn't want to be rated. They knew that I had been rated in the past, and they wanted me to have to turn over my card. And the cashier will ask you for your card if you have a $1,000 chip. So, and I think I've discussed this before about this location, that something like this has happened to me before. So I'm disgusted with these guys. So I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. The other issue I was having was, if you don't have a player's card, you have to pay $25 for parking. Well, I have a player card, and it's at a higher level, and I don't have to pay for parking. However, I didn't have my player card with me. You're supposed to scan it when you come in, and then you scan it again when you leave. If you don't have your player's card with you, you're kind of stuck, because they don't want to give you a voucher for the parking, because they're like, well, you've got that player's card. They don't understand. Another object on road ahead. Something's going on today. They don't understand that you have to do it the same both ways. So when you come in, you either get a voucher and you get a voucher to leave, or you use your card to get in and your card to get out. They think you can get a voucher on the way in and use your card on the way out. But one thing that they did is, if you play poker for an hour, you can get a free voucher to get out. So I thought, okay, that sounds like a good idea, and I need to get rid of this chip. So I go to the poker area, I cash my $1,000 chip in for 6 black chips and $400 in red. So now I have $400 in $5 chips, $600 in $100 chips. I put that in the rack along with my other chips, and I walk up to the desk and I said something like, oh man, I forgot to get on the list. And he's like, oh, that's okay, what's your name? Joe. Okay, Joe, you're going to be first on the list, I'll call you in a minute. I said, oh, can I get the voucher? Because I always forget to take it before I leave. Hands me a voucher. I go to sit down in the other room to wait. I go straight to the cashier. I cash out. Take one more lap of the to look at the slot machines. Actually, I cash out. I still had a free dinner, free buffet, and I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, I can either go to another location, or I can take my time and I can eat and I can be happy and not stress about getting into an accident. So I decided just to go ahead and eat. I went down, got a salad, and then they had burgers down there, nice flame broiled. You put it all together yourself. I had that, took a couple cookies with me, and then took one more lap, looked at the slot machines. As I said, I was ahead $60. At that point, I found a delicious slot machine at $9 a spin, and that thing took me through the ringer. I mean, that thing just wrecked me before it paid, and I was involved in that machine for $1,400 before it finally paid out. I had some money still in the machine, and it paid out $1,295 and change. So I ended up leaving down 60 on the slots overall. So blackjack and table games, basically, plus 540, slots minus $60. I got a free gift card, I got a free meal, and I am heading toward home. And it turns out 2 of my kids have an event that's ending at the same time, and both of them need to be picked up at the same time. So I put it in the GPS, and if I go straight home, straight there, I will be there 4 minutes before I need to be there. So 4 minutes of wiggle room. Then I look at my gas situation, and I have exactly enough gas to get to this place. So I need to try to get some gas before I go there, so I don't run out. So I use some of that 4 minutes to get some fuel. So that's what's going on right now. The sun is down, it's dark outside now, and just heading toward home. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I was just thinking, with all the ups and downs that I have, it's not like things were before where, you go to a casino, you win $50, you win a couple hundred, you lose a couple hundred. It's like you got no one to tell, no one to complain to, no one to compare yourself to. And I find myself watching videos online of poker players and slot players and things like that, and comparing my wins and losses to their wins and losses on their videos. It's kind of weird. But who can you really talk to in your normal circle if your circle is not people who do what you do? And what, are you going to go to church and tell people? Are you going to go to school and tell people. You're going to go to your local grocery store and tell people. So anyway, we had a good day today. I don't know all the numbers. I think we're over 2,000 again today, or close to it. Should be over 6,000 for the week. And I think we can get to 7 tomorrow. I think we can easily get another 1,000 tomorrow. My goal is going to be 1,500 for tomorrow, and really finish off the week right. So anyway, I'm going to let you go for now. Still on my way home. Got a few more miles range before I have to fill up the gas tank. I only have about 3 minutes to spare right now, but continuing our trip. And if you have any questions or comments, it's mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.